Very good afternoon to one and all. I welcome you all for the next lecture of heat transfer. Please let me know whether my voice is audible and can you see my presentation? Great. So in the last lecture, we have discussed the LMTD, that is logarithmic mean temperature difference for counterflow heat exchanger, and we come to know the difference between LMTD for parallel flow and counterflow. Where the equations we are getting, the equations are similar one for parallel flow and counterflow. That is, if you take theta 2 minus theta 1 divided by ln of theta 2 divided by theta 1. But the consideration of theta 1 and theta 2 in case of a parallel flow and counter flow are a different one. In case of a parallel flow, theta 1 is considered to be a th1 minus tc1, and theta 2 is considered to be a th2 minus tc2. Whereas in a counter flow heat exchanger, we have to consider the theta 1 as th1 minus tc2, and theta 2 as th2 minus tc1, th2 minus tc1. So in this fashion, we have to consider the logarithmic mean temperature difference, which will provide the same. If you calculate the logarithmic mean temperature difference for a particular heat exchanger for the particular conditions, then that particular logarithmic mean temperature difference will provide you the same heat transfer rate for variable conditions of a temperature. Okay, for the variable conditions of a temperature. So we have discussed further the overall heat transfer coefficient. We know that whenever there is a heat transfer occurred with a different modes of heat transfer, that is convection and conduction, then we have to consider the overall heat transfer coefficient. So in that case, we have discussed this particular point. We have already discussed previously in case of a conduction chapter, where we discuss about the heat transfer across the wall, and that consideration we are using in this particular chapter for heat transfer across the heat exchanger wall. Okay, and if there is a tubular heat exchanger, in that case, how to consider the overall heat transfer coefficient. So in case of a tubular heat exchanger, we have discussed that we have to consider the overall heat transfer coefficient on the basis of internal surface area and on the basis of external surface area. Okay, so accordingly, we have to formulate the equation for overall heat transfer coefficient. If it is asked on the basis of internal surface area, then we have to consider the overall heat transfer coefficient on the basis of internal surface area. And if it is asked the overall heat transfer coefficient on the basis of external surface area, in that case we have to consider the external surface area and the overall heat transfer coefficient on the basis of external surface area. Now in this particular lecture, we are going to discuss the two main factors which we need to consider in case of a heat exchanger. Okay, so out of that, the first one is nothing but the fouling or scaling factor. Okay, the fouling or scaling. Okay, so in we know that if you are checking any pot in which you are heating up the water, okay, and if you not clean it for so many days, okay, then you will come to know that there is a formation of one layer inside that particular pot. Okay, the formation of layer inside that particular pot. Okay, so what is happening at that location? So whatever the minerals present in the water, whatever the dirt particles present in the in the water or in the liquid, so that particles or the minerals will get deposited on the inner surface of that particular pot. Okay, in a similar fashion, in a heat exchanger, also we are dealing with very high temperature, when we are dealing with very high temperature, then the whatever the minerals present in the liquid, or the ash present in the liquid, or dirt particles present in the liquid, or the scales, okay, the we can say that the scales, okay, that also present in that particular liquid. So all such particles will get deposited on the heat exchanger surface area, or we can say that the surface area available for the heat transfer in the heat exchanger, okay. And that particular scale, or we can say that all the deposition, we can say that the name for, or the nomenclature for such a deposition you can use as a scale, okay. So the formation of such a deposition or impurities on the heated surface area or the heat exchanging surface area called as a falling, okay, called as a falling. And that particular deposition or the scale will provide the extra resistance, okay. If the layer will form, then one extra resistance will be there, will be available there for the heat transfer, okay. Initially we are considering the resistance of a wall only, but due to the formation of a scaling, or the formation of a falling on the heat exchanging surface area, one extra resistance will get added up for the heat transfer, and due to that the effectiveness of heat transfer or the efficiency of a heat exchanger will get decreased, okay, will get decreased, or the performance of heat exchanging will get decreased, okay. Now this particular resistance, it is very difficult to determine, okay, to comment on the thickness of that particular scale, or the we can say that the conductivity of that particular scale formation, determination of that particular conductivity of scale formation is very much difficult, so that, or we can say that it is very difficult to comment on the thickness or the thermal conductivity of that particular scale. So in that case we need to consider, or we have to formulate the equivalent heat transfer coefficient for that particular scale, okay. We have to consider the equivalent heat transfer coefficient for that particular scale, okay. And the resistance offered by that scale will be considered as r suffix si or r suffix s naught, okay, where h suffix si is nothing but the equivalent heat transfer coefficient for the scale on the inner surface, okay, on the inner surface, and h suffix s naught is the equivalent heat transfer coefficient on the outer surface, of the heat exchanger. Then the resistance offered by this particular scale, or the falling on inner surface, can be given as r suffix si, which is equal to 1 divided by a suffix I multiplied by h suffix si. That is r suffix si is the scaling resistance on an inner surface, and a suffix I is the resistance offered. A suffix I is the area, surface area, inner surface area available for the heat transfer, and h suffix si is the equivalent convective heat transfer coefficient of a scale on the inner surface, Similarly, we can consider the resistance for the scale on an outer surface, okay, resistance for the scale on an outer surface. So that resistance will be considered as 1 divided by a naught multiplied by h suffix s naught, where a naught is the outer surface area and multiplied by h s naught is nothing but the equivalent convective heat transfer coefficient for the scale on the outer surface, and reciprocal of scale heat transfer coefficient, okay, scale heat transfer coefficient is called as a falling factor, okay. So if you considering this falling factor on the inner surface, then 1 upon hs I we have to consider, h suffix si we have to consider, and in that case we'll get the falling factor on a inner surface, and for that falling factor we have to give the nomenclature as r suffix fi, okay. And if you are considering the falling factor on the outer surface, so that will be r suffix f naught we have to consider, and in that case the relation for the falling factor will be r suffix f naught, which is equal to 1 upon h suffix s naught, okay, h suffix s naught. Now consider there is a tubular heat exchanger. Okay, this is the tubular heat exchanger, and one fluid is flowing inside that particular tube, and one fluid is flowing over that particular tube. Okay, so here the inner heat transfer coefficient is HI. Okay, and inner fluid temperature is Ti, whereas the outer fluid heat transfer coefficient is H naught, and outer temperature of a fluid, fluid temperature is T naught. So in that case, the heat transfer rate can be, we know that in that case how to write the heat transfer rate. Q is equal to delta T divided by R total. Q is equal to delta T divided by R total. That is nothing but overall temperature difference divided by total resistance available for the heat transfer. Okay, so we can consider this particular electrical circuit diagram. Okay, electrical analogy circuit diagram, and we can say that the overall temperature difference is Ti minus T naught. Okay, and we have to add up all the resistance in the denominator side. Okay, we have to add up all the resistance in the denominator side. So here first resistance is for the convection of a heat from inner fluid to the inner surface, so that will be 1 upon Hi multiplied by A suffix I, and then heat will be transferred within the thickness of wall, and that resistance offered by cylindrical wall will be ln of R naught divided by Ri divided by 2 pi KL, where R naught is the outer radius of tube, whereas R suffix I is the inner radius of tube, and K is the thermal conductivity, and L is the length of that particular tube. Okay, and the third resistance, when the heat is transferring from outer surface of tube to the external fluid, in that case we will get the resistance as 1 divided by H naught multiplied by A naught. Okay, and we have to formulate this heat transfer. But what will happen if you are considering the following factors or the scaling resistance offered for the heat transfer in this particular case? So where the scaling will form? Okay, so in this case the scaling will form on this surface, inner surface, whatever the inner surface area is available for the heat transfer. So ash, the minerals of water, soot, dirt, particles, that all will be deposited on this particular surfaces. Okay, so that will be the inner resistance. Okay, and the layer will be formed, and the inner resistance we will face, and that resistance will be considered as a scaling resistance. Okay, that will be considered as a inner scaling resistance, inner surface scaling resistance. And also the fluid is flowing over that particular tube, and there are chances to formation of deposits or scales on the outer surface of this particular tube. Okay, so that also provide the resistance for the heat transfer from this particular tube surface to the external fluid. So in that case also we have to consider the external surface scaling resistance. Okay, external surface scaling resistance. So if you consider that all the resistance offered for the heat transfer, so for first one is R suffix I, which is equal to 1 divided by H suffix I multiplied by A suffix I. Then wall resistance as R suffix W is equal to ln of R naught divided by Ri whole divided by 2 pi KL. Then outer surface resistance, that is the convective resistance, outer convective resistance, and it is equal to R naught is equal to 1 divided by H naught multiplied by A naught. Now we have to consider the scaling resistance. So inner surface scaling resistance or inner surface area scaling resistance, that will be provided as R suffix Si, which is equal to 1 divided by H suffix Si multiplied by A suffix I. And outer surface scaling resistance. So in that case we have to consider R suffix S naught or R suffix SO. Okay, R suffix S naught will be equal to 1 divided by H suffix S naught multiplied by A naught. Now the heat transfer rate in this case can be calculated by considering the overall temperature difference divided by total thermal resistance, all the thermal resistance addition or summation of all the thermal resistance in the denominator side. So if you add up all the resistance, then you will get the Q is equal to delta T as inner temperature. If you are considering that the hot fluid is flowing inside the tube, then we have to consider the Ti minus T naught as the overall temperature difference whole divided by summation of all the resistance. So we have add up all the resistance. So in that case, we have to add up two extra resistance. The first one is nothing but the scaling resistance on the inner surface, and also we have to add the second resistance as the scaling resistance on the outer surface. So that two resistance we have to add up whenever the data related to the resistance or the falling factor is provided. Okay, so in that particular case, if you want to consider the overall heat transfer coefficient, okay, how to calculate the overall heat transfer coefficient in that case? So overall heat transfer coefficient, we have discussed that based on an inner surface also and based on an outer surface also. So from this particular equation, if you take a naught a suffix I, that is the inner surface, 1 upon a suffix I common, okay, so then that particular equation will provide you the overall heat transfer coefficient on the basis of inner surface. And if you taken out the a naught from this denominator side and you have shifted this particular to the numerator side, then the whatever in the denominator, that will provide you the overall heat transfer coefficient on the basis of a external surface or the outer surface, okay, on the basis of outer surface. So in this case, we have to consider the based on an inner surface. So that will be provided by u suffix I, and that will be given as u suffix I. If you taken the common a suffix I from this particular equation and you have shifted to this to the numerator side, then whatever remaining part, a suffix I and ti minus t naught, if you remove this, you will get the u suffix I. Okay, so then u suffix I will be equal to 1 divided by h suffix I plus 1 divided by h suffix si plus ri divided by k multiplied by ln of r naught divided by ri plus ri divided by r naught multiplied by 1 divided by hs naught plus ri divided by r naught multiplied by 1 divided by h naught. Now in this equation, we know that we have already considered that the reciprocal of the scale resistance or scale convective heat transfer coefficient. Okay, the reciprocal of scale convective heat transfer coefficient is nothing but falling factor. Okay, is nothing but falling factor, and which is represented as RF. So here you are getting 1 divided by HSI. So that is the falling factor on the inner surface. So instead of that, you can write R suffix Fi. Okay, and here you are getting 1 divided by H suffix S naught, which is nothing but the falling factor on the outer surface. So instead of that, you can write the RF naught. Okay, so similarly, you can take out the a naught common from the from this equation. Okay, if you take the a naught common from this equation, okay, so then and shift it to the numerator side, and if you leave a naught and ti minus t naught from the equation, then remaining part on the right hand side will be nothing but the overall heat transfer coefficient. So if you do that particular formality, and if you check that what based on outer surface, what you get, based on outer surface, what you get, okay, so u naught is equal to 1 divided by hi multiplied by r naught divided by ri plus 1 divided by hsi multiplied by r naught divided by ri plus r naught divided by k multiplied by ln of r naught divided by ri plus 1 upon hs naught plus 1 upon h naught. Okay, so in this fashion, this 1 upon h suffix si is nothing but the falling resistance on the inner surface, and 1 divided by hs naught is nothing but the falling resistance on the outer falling factor on the outer surface. Okay, then you will get the overall heat transfer coefficient on the basis of outer surface area, that is u naught is equal to 1 divided by 1 upon hi multiplied by r naught divided by ri plus rfi multiplied by r naught divided by ri plus r naught divided by k multiplied by ln of r naught divided by ri plus rf naught plus 1 upon h naught. Okay, so further how to do the calculation of this particular falling factor experimentally. Okay, so in that case, you have to first of all consider you have to take first of all the dirty heat exchanger on which the falling is happened already, and you have to calculate the overall heat transfer coefficient in that particular case. That is nothing but U dirty. And once that particular calculation is done, then you have to clean up that heat exchanger. You have to remove out all the dirt, all the scales formation on the heat exchanging surface area, and then you have to calculate the overall heat transfer coefficient for the clean heat exchanger. And if you subtract these two heat exchanger reciprocal of two overall heat transfer coefficient, that is 1 upon U dirt minus 1 upon U clean, that will provide you 1 upon H suffix S, that is the reciprocal of scaling convective heat transfer coefficient, and that will be nothing but your falling factor. That will be nothing your falling factor. Getting everyone? Is there any question, any doubt about the falling factor? Is there any question whether you understood this falling factor? So then you can write in a heat exchanger, in a heat exchanger during normal operation, 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 the tube surface get covered, the tube surface get covered the tube surface get covered by deposition of ash, by deposition of ash, by deposition of ash, soot, soot, dirt, dirt, and scale, etc., and scale, etc., and scale, etc. This phenomenon of rust formation, this phenomenon of rust formation, this phenomenon of rust formation and deposition of fluid impurities, and deposition of fluid impurities, and deposition of fluid impurities is called falling, and deposition of fluid impurities is called falling. Is called falling. Full stop. Full stop. Due to these surface deposits, 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 the thermal resistance is increased. The thermal resistance is increased. The thermal resistance is increased, and and eventually the performance of heat exchanger lowers. Due to this surface deposits, the thermal resistance is increased and eventually the performance of heat exchanger lowered. The performance of heat exchanger lowered. Full stop. Full stop. Then next, since it is very difficult, since it is very difficult, since it is very difficult to speak on to speak or comment, since it is very difficult to speak or comment on the thickness and the thermal conductivity of, since it is very difficult to speak or comment on the thickness and thermal conductivity of scale deposits, conductivity of scale deposits, scale deposits, comma, the effect of scale, the effect of scale, the effect of scale, the effect of scale on heat flow, on heat flow, on heat flow is considered by, is considered by, is considered by specifying an equivalent scale heat transfer coefficient, is considered by specifying an equivalent scale heat transfer coefficient, specifying an equivalent scale heat transfer coefficient in in single inverted comma h suffix s, small h suffix s. Okay, then next you can write if you can say here also single inverted comma, if if h suffix si, if h suffix si and h suffix s naught and h suffix s naught be the heat transfer coefficient, if h suffix si and h suffix s naught be the heat transfer coefficient for the scale deposits, for the scale deposits, for the scale deposits, scale deposited heat transfer coefficient for the scale deposited on the inside and outside surface respectively, on the inside and outside surface respectively, then the thermal resistance, then the thermal resistance, then the thermal resistance, then the thermal resistance due to scale formation, due to scale formation, due to scale formation on the inside surface, on the inside surface in bracket r suffix si, r suffix si, and outside surface, and outside surface in bracket r suffix s naught, r suffix s naught, bracket complete, are given by, are given by, are given by r suffix s suffix, r suffix si is equal to 1 divided by a suffix I multiply by h suffix si, and r suffix s naught is equal to 1 divided by a naught multiply by H suffix S naught.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, today our paper is there at 3 to 5 p.m.
Today,
Yes, sir. Some students,
which paper is there?
sir, that about Sweri Tata Technologies paper is there for
Which
some students. Tata Technologies.
Tata Technology paper?
Yes.
3 to
3 to 5.
3:30 to 4:30 right now.
No, no, 3 to 5 paper.
सर किती आहे टाइम 3 ते 4:30 आहे okay okay so then okay we'll stop here then remaining part we will discuss in the next lecture okay so you can attend that particular paper okay so put up your roll numbers in the chat box and the remaining part we will discuss in the next lecture tomorrow's lecture okay it is fine.
सर जी सांगायचं की यार
Okay, you put up your roll numbers in the chat box. We'll stop here. Remaining students.